Hello, our today's topic is communication theory. Now, before we move on to the details, let me tell you this communication theory is a vast topic, and I'm just giving you a brief introduction. So, let's start with what it is. It is a study of all aspects of information exchange, like senders, receivers, the methods they use, feedbacks, and interpretations. So basically, communication is exchange of information. And the theory of communication involves all the very different aspects that are involved in information exchange. Now let us look into a bit more details of it. These are the three major points that come under communication. Basically, it is exchange of information. Then the second point to note is that it is a two-way process. The third point is that it is equally applicable for humans as well as non-humans, meaning any sort of information exchange happening between any living being can be called as communication. You might have heard of how ants communicate about the food, then about communication amongst crows and honeybees, the particular sounds that each animal make, the particular way in which each animal behave. Animals and other living things communicate in their own ways. So basically, communication is something that happens for humans as well as non-humans. So now let us look into the different components of communication. So theoretically, there are 8 different components. First of all, the source, the person from where the message is starting or the information exchange is starting, that is the source. For a better understanding, let us take an example and see each of these components. Imagine that a war is going on. The commander of an army troop needs to send a message to their command sender. So that person, the commander, that person is the source. Moving on to the second component, sender. They will be sending via a transmitter. So that transmitter acts as the sender. The thing from which the information is passed on is the sender. Now 3, channel. Channel is the path through which the message is being sent. For example, via satellites or Wi-Fi cables, whatever. Then the receiver, the machine that is there at the receiving end. Then the destination, the person to which the message is addressed as the destination. Then the 6th component is the message itself or the information that is being exchanged. Then the 7th component, feedback. Remember, in the last slide we talked about communication being a two-way process. So communication cannot be complete unless there is feedback. It may be as simple as an acknowledgement to the message received, or it may be a query, or it may be an answer. The response from the destination is the feedback. The 8th component, the context. For a better understanding of the message, you need to have a context. Like in the example that we just discussed, the information of the message will make sense to a third party only if you know the context. We were thinking about a war as a context. The context is what makes the message complete. It gives further meaning or completeness to the message. So these are the 8 different components. Once again, source, sender, channel, receiver, destination, message, feedback, and context. Even a brief introduction of communication theory won't be complete without 3 different terms associated with communication theory. First term is entropy, the amount of uncertainty. For example, your friend is giving you a message that he or she will be visiting you tomorrow. Then details like when exactly your friend is visiting tomorrow, at what time, till what time your friend will be there, what is the plan of your friend, to go out with you or to stay with you. All these things are uncertain. It's not clear. So this uncertainty that is there in a message is entropy. To a large extent, context can clear the entropy, but not always. Moving on to the next term, redundancy. Redundancy means something that can be reduced. Maybe because of repetition, maybe because of other things also. For example, I am asking you, how many apples did you eat? You reply that I ate 2 apples. In this case, there is redundancy because, see, my question is how many apples did you eat? And 2 is enough for an answer because the rest of it is understood from the question that I asked. So the rest of the words in that particular sentence, that I ate apple, those can be elided. The answer need only be to. Okay, so these kinds of repetitions or these kinds of usages where the elided words are understood, that is redundancy. For example, shut up is enough. No need to say you shut up. In that case, you is a redundant word. Moving on to the third term, noise. The first impression that this term makes is of sound, unwanted sound that irritates you. That is also noise. However, any undesired interference also will come under noise. So that's all for today. Now before you go, if you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Thank you.